Hey YouTube, so it's the 19th day of VEDA, and today I wanted to talk about a news story that I found out about a little late to the party, a few days after, but it's still fairly recent. In Florida, a 10-year-old boy on the autism spectrum was arrested for something he did last year in a classroom. So this 10-year-old boy had struck a teacher. According to the article I read, he had scratched the teacher because the teacher was trying to get him out of the chair and he wouldn't move out of the chair because he had been misbehaving, throwing balls and things like that. The child was expelled for his actions, and one would think that would be about it. But apparently in Florida, it's a felony to strike a teacher, and so a warrant was put out for the child. Child and parent were unaware of this fact, and the child came back to said school for state testing, if I'm understanding the article correctly, and he was saw by a resource officer and then arrested. This bothers me on so many levels. If we even just neglect initially the fact that this is a 10-year-old boy with autism, but just a 10-year-old kid, I feel like it's kind of ridiculous to arrest the child for that. I work with children. I have my entire adult life, and even before I was officially an adult. And I will tell you, there are absolutely some circumstances where the police need to be involved. If a kid is extraordinarily violent, if it's not safe for the teacher, if people are fearing for their lives or their safety or things like that on a regular basis, absolutely. But as a rule, I don't think that's the right course of action. I think dealing with this within the school system was appropriate. Even expulsion may or may not have been appropriate, but it was the way the school system had decided to deal with that, and that's perfectly fine. But to live in a society where we think it's when a kid is frustrated and angry and lashes out, and it didn't seem like it was a horrible thing. Again, everything has more than one slant, and there's one side, another side, and the truth somewhere in the mix, but it didn't sound like this was something that sent the teacher to the emergency room. It didn't sound like it was something that horribly ruined the teacher's life. It was an event. And my problem with this is, if it was that big of a deal, if it was that intense thing, the police should have been brought into the classroom. They should have directly dealt with the child that day, not something that's months and months down the road that doesn't impact things anyways. Kids work on a just completely different wavelength than adults, and they don't always recognize what they're doing in one way or the other, and it just frustrates me to no end that this kid was arrested. Then you add on the fact that he's on the autism spectrum, which means just being touched, being dealt with in the way the teacher was, and the way police officers were, if you've seen the video, can cause lashing out, can cause fear, can cause intense anxiety. And so I'm just all kinds of upset about this. I mean, are we at a stage in our world where it's okay to push kids to the side and throw them in jail because they lashed out at you momentarily? Again, there are very specific, unique examples, but to make that the rule is ridiculous. I have been hit by children. I have been hit by more than one child. I have been hurt. I have been needed to grab an ice pack and deal with that. I have had things like that, but I've never thought of calling the police on a kid. I don't know if it was the school that did this. It could have been just the resource officer that's involved that brought about the warrant. I'm not necessarily blaming that teacher, but as someone that has experienced stuff like that, I've had a kid lash out intensely. Admittedly, I believe he was 5, but still, like, chucking the little furniture around the room and smacking and going really, really intense. I have been hit by other kids. I have been bit. I have all these things. It doesn't mean that I want to teach these kids that you're completely screwed up for the rest of your life because of these decisions you made now, but having a felony on your record, my goodness. we need to look at the world we're living in and what we want, and that's not what I want. I want to teach kids consequences, yes, and right and wrong, yes, but also that they've got a shot and a chance in this world. If you got thoughts, put them below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more VEDA. Bye.